Guys, I love this because one of the passions, the reason this video came about is because I do one-to-one coaching and mentorship with autistic individuals from all walks of life, all over the world. And I love it. Okay, this is how I want to inspire you to harness your own creativity as a neurodivergent person and just really get that spark, that fire within you to come out and just use your brilliant mind for good in the world. Let's go. Guys, what's going on? Okay, so I listed out 3 stories that I think are just so brilliant that I want to inspire you to do things because people always ask me, Dan, by the way, I'm Dan and I have autism and ADHD and I do videos like this every day. So just hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. But they say, Dan, how do you do all these things? Like, how do you write books? Like, I've got this book out, Autism for Adults is my last book. I've just written a new book called Beautiful Chaos, which is out soon. And I've got another book on theology. It was out in 2017. But how do you do all these things? How do you travel the world and do keynote speeches and build YouTube channels and talk to people and help do all these things? I say because I have a burning passion and a fire inside me that was set alight when I realized that other autistic individuals, level 1, level 2 autistics, were doing the same as me. And they had the same condition I've done and they wanted to do more. And I was like, holy smokes, how do I get people excited about this, right? And guys, I love this because one of the passions, the reason this video came about is because I do one-to-one coaching and mentorship with autistic individuals from all walks of life, all over the world. And I love it. It's my deepest passion because I get to help people one-to-one. And it's amazing. And me and my partner, Flavia, we now both coach people. And, it could be as little as hey, maybe they just need to be directed to getting the right program that they can download and do on their own. Or maybe they want personal one-to-one coaching and mentorship and accountability. We do all of that. And if you're interested in this, actually, you can book a free call with me or Flavia. You choose which one you want to speak to. If you prefer to speak to a lady or me as a guy, then just go to theaspieworld.com/booking and you can book a call in with us completely free. And we'll be able to direct you in what would be best suited. We'll show you all the resources on our website that are free. We have very, very huge amount on there. But by doing this, I was inspiring many people and they were really amped to do the coolest things they've ever done, right? And I was like, wow. And so I got 3 examples of 3 people I think are just absolutely fantastic and what they've done is amazing. Now, put politics aside and conspiracy theories aside, let's just look at what the people have done and let's get to it. Okay, the first one is Kevin Smith. Now, Kevin Smith is an amazing director. He's a movie director who wears a hat backwards, I guess, all the time and a hockey shirt. I think it's a hockey shirt. Now, he's best known for his movie Clerks, Mallrats, and Dogma. And Dogma actually featured Alanis Morissette as God. It's an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But his first movie was Clerks. Now, being a Hollywood director and a huge kind of inspiration in not just the indie movies scene, but also now Hollywood movie scene, you think, well, where do these people start? How does this start? What's the story behind this? Now, Kevin Smith was really interesting. Kevin Smith always had a fascination in movies and he wanted to be a movie director, but he came from a small town. I think he's from North Carolina or something like that. And he was going to go to university and I'm sure his dad was paying for him to go to university to do business studies or something super boring that he wasn't really into, right? And he said to his dad, hey, Dad, I want to be a movie director. And his dad's like, absolutely no way. I scraped together all the money to pay for your tuition for the next kind of year or something. So I need you to go to university because obviously, in that day and age, if you go back to the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, hardworking families who wanted to get their kids into college, it wasn't easy and it wasn't cheap, right? So Kevin Smith's dad got him to get to the level to go to college and Kevin's like, okay, I'm going to go. So I think he packed all the stuff up and he went to, I'm sure it was LA or something. I can't remember exactly where he went, but he went to his college place. But he was in his dorm room thinking I know I can do better. I know I can do more than just business and boring and, all this kind of gray brown job stuff. So he decided that he'd go against his dad's wishes and take an incredible gamble. But if it paid off well, right? So he took all the money from the tuition. He took it out of the tuition account, didn't pay for his tuition. He went out and bought a video camera. And he used the little money he had left to go around and find any actor who would act in his movie, Clerks, which is the movie. It's a great movie. It's in black and white. And he found a few people said, yeah, we'll do it. So he scraped everything together and he worked day and night tirelessly. I think he's even in the movie. He filmed the whole thing, edited it down, took him months and months. And then his friend said to him, hey, if you want a movie, he was thinking to himself, how do I get movies big? How do I get movies big? And Kevin Smith then said to his friend, how do I get my movies big? And his friend said, hey, everybody puts it in a film festival, right? There's always different film festivals on in LA and there's different fringe festivals. So he took his movie, applied it to a film festival and used all the rest of his money that he had to enter into the film festival. And they said, cool, we're going to show your movie in this theater on this day. let's hope for the best. Now, the idea was that Kevin's movie would be played in a theater, and potential like agents and Hollywood directors and other movie producers and production companies would see the movie and they'd go, wow, this is amazing. Let's take it on. Okay. So Kevin banked everything on just this one appearance. I think it was the Sundance Film Festival. He went to the theater when it was getting played, and there was him, another guy, one of his friends, and like a younger kid, maybe like a 15 to 18-year-old kid. The 18-year-old got up and left about, I don't know, 15 minutes into the movie. Him and his friend stayed there and watched the whole thing. And there was another guy in there, right? Just some old dude just watching the movie. Then the film finished. Dude left. That was it. Kevin thought, oh my goodness, I just wasted my dad's money. He's going to kill me. Like, horrendous, right? He used all his college fund on this movie. It went bust. Got nowhere. Took it to the festival. Nobody showed up. About a week later, he gets a phone call from the guy who was sat in the audience. Turns out he was a production company agent working for Paramount, I think, at the time, and said, hey, your movie was fantastic. We'd love to buy it and release the movie. And the rest is history. That's exactly how Kevin got his big break, because he believed in himself so much that he was determined that no matter what it took, being scared of doing what he wanted to do was an indication that he should be doing it, right? Now, Kevin Smith is not officially diagnosed with anything, but he clearly has ADHD and has openly said he has mental health struggles and burnouts and all the things associated with ADHD or an AuDHD brain, right? Hyperfixation, mental health issues, hyperactivity, not focusing on different tasks, as we all do, okay? Even the impulsivity to go and take the money out of the account and buy the camera and do the thing. Now, that's amazing. To me, that's inspirational. It's not stupid. I think it's inspirational because to me, it's like, wow, we took a risk. Now, the second person I want to talk about, very similar, is Bill Gates. Now, we all know Bill Gates. Bill Gates has Asperger's syndrome, which is autism spectrum disorder level 1. And Bill Gates, when he was in college, it was like 1975. He was in university, in Harvard University. And he was halfway through his university degree, and a guy called Paul Allen said, hey, we should co-found and set up Microsoft, because at the time, these guys were building software and components for IBM, and IBM were subcontracting them, and they thought, hey, we could do something pretty amazing here. And so his dad was like, no, you stay in college. Everybody stays in college. It's Harvard. You don't like walk out of Harvard Business School. What are you talking about? But Bill Gates went against his dad's wishes, everything, and him and Paul Allen co-founded Microsoft, and that was the best decision, because by the mid-90s, say 1997, 1998, Bill Gates was the richest guy on the planet, and his software was used everywhere. Just incredible. Like, imagine the risk of doing that and going against your dad, because we all want to look up to our dad, especially if he's paying for us to go to college, right? Amazing, because he knew. Bill Gates knew, and he had it in him to be motivated enough to say, no, I know this is the right path. I should be going on this. And the last one I'm going to talk about is Elon Musk. Now, love him or hate him, a lot of people think Elon Musk is kind of like, political kind of like figure now that everybody kind of hates or loves or whatever. I don't really care. The guy makes incredibly good technology, is putting people in space, revolutionized space travel, and I think he's an incredibly interesting guy. Now, Elon Musk has Asperger's syndrome, a diagnosis, which is autism spectrum disorder level 1. And he said this openly on Saturday Night Live, where he said he had Asperger's syndrome, and he talks about it now in interviews and different things. Now, Elon Musk, not only, a lot of people don't know this about him, but when he was in high school, he was beaten to a pulp. Like, he almost died because he was beaten up for being the odd kid, because he liked reading, and he literally used to lock himself in his dad's library, which his dad was quite a wealthy guy who had like, I'm sure he had like a diamond mine or a gold mine or something, I don't know. And he locked himself away in his room, and he read all his dad's books, library books, and encyclopedias and different things. He wanted to learn constantly. And then he got the ability to have a scholarship to go to college in America. That's when he moved to America. Now, when Elon Musk and his brother went to America, they didn't rent a dorm room. They rented an office because they wanted to start a company, because these are two like super, super intellectual guys. And they started a company called Zip2, which is like a zip file software. And then they didn't even own beds. They just sleep in the office on the floor. It was crazy, because there's a story about Elon Musk bringing the girl back to his office, and she was like, oh, where's your bed? Where's your apartment? He goes, well, this is it. And then she left. And, relationships weren't a concern for him. What was a concern for him was building a business, doing what he wanted to do. Now, Elon Musk sold Zip2, founded PayPal, right? He invented PayPal, then sold PayPal to eBay. And then with the money he got from PayPal, he bought Tesla, which is a car company, for like $6 million. And Tesla was just a car company, an electric car company that had no prototypes or anything. They had no cars out, but they had a cool name, right? Tesla, from Nikola Tesla, the electrical kind of genius from the day. And he was building these electric cars, right? And he was trying to revolutionize electric cars, making them good, luxurious, affordable, nice, and actually decent cars, not just garbage. And then he was always wanting to be in aeronautics and space programs. Elon Musk decided to found a SpaceX. And there's two stories here, that when he was working in Tesla, all the engineers couldn't figure out a problem on one of the cars. He had about 6 engineers around the table and they couldn't figure out the problem. So Elon came over, because his desk is in the middle of the factory, right? And so he came over to their desk and said, hey, what's going on? I said, we can't figure out this problem. So Elon said, give me the blueprints and all the papers. I'll take that back tonight to my house, not sleep, and I'll fix the problem, bring it in the morning. And he did. He did just that. He went home to his house, his apartment. He stayed up all night. He fixed the problem, came in, they executed it. It worked. Incredible guy. Now, if we look at SpaceX, when he was funding SpaceX, he only had enough money to found the companies and really put some seed money in there, but he didn't have much money for all the staff. So he found some different engineers and different people from like hobby, rocket craft engineering in different fields. He did that. But then he didn't have enough money for a chief rocket engineer. And so Elon said, well, I'll figure it out and I'll be the chief rocket engineer. And he was the chief rocket engineer at SpaceX for a very long time. And there was a pinnacle moment here. He'd tried to get a payload into orbit, right, with SpaceX for four to six tries. And they blew up every single time, or they came down to earth and smashed, and he couldn't fix it. He was like, God, I need to do, and he only had enough money. He could literally have enough money to keep Tesla going as it was, because that really wasn't on the stock market yet, and put money into one last space flight. Now, if the space flight took orbit, NASA would give him $1 billion contract, but if it crashed and burned, he wouldn't have enough money to replace it. He'd have to close that down, and then it would siphon the money from Tesla to go into liquidation and then shut both. So he would actually be bankrupt. So Elon sat and thought about it. And so he went over the rocket and went over and over and over. And then he figured out, like, he thinks this is going to work. He put all his money and all his prayers and hopes on this one rocket. Went up, bang, straight into orbit. NASA phones him, says, congratulations, you got, $1 billion contract. Tesla goes live on the stock market, goes crazy, like $1 billion company. That's how Elon Musk was able to figure both out, because he took a risk. He knew what he needed to do, and he was not put off by fear, right? Fear is, some could say, false events appearing real, right? That's what fear stands for. But fear can only exist where action doesn't take place. So just do the reverse. If you want to eliminate fear, just take action in your life in those areas. I love this because Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Kevin Smith, these are great examples of neurodivergent individuals in your position who had literally everything to lose, when maybe you don't even have things to lose. You could literally change your ideas today, and if they fail, they fail. Go out there, do it. Give it heck. I am counting on you. And so is the world. Peace.